What's up, everybody? If you record, produce, or mix vocals in music in any way, then this is a must-know mix hack for vocal clarity. I'm going to play an example for you, and what I want you to tune into specifically is listening to how the vocal is fighting for space with or being masked by the mid-range instrumentation. So let's have a listen.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever in this daydream, and I feel like this is quite alright.
The vocal is fighting for space. So now listen to this example where I've applied the technique.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever in this daydream.
Okay, let's listen one more time, and I'm gonna go to a slightly different section of the song. Awesome. So tune in over the next couple of minutes, and I'm going to walk you through step by step how to apply this technique. Let's get into it. Right up front, I want to say that this technique is not a substitute for having a well mixed and produced song. I'm going to assume that you have already mixed your vocal quite well and you've produced the vocal well, and we're adding a layer of icing on the cake that's going to get the vocal to sound really standout. Now, a lot of you are in a place where you struggle with vocal production still, and I'm going to give you something that will equip you to be able to do that really well if that's something that you either want to know more about or you're struggling with. We have a vocal production course back at Warp Academy. It's normally $49, but for the next little bit, I'm going to make it completely free for you guys. You can come and sign up. You can go through the course. It's a course that I did, and it shows you all of the vocal production and mixing techniques that I use on a song like this. So that'll get you leveled up to the point where you're ready to apply this technique. All right. The next thing I want to say is I want to give credit where credit's due. I didn't come up with this technique. I learned this technique by watching a video from Streaky. Streaky has an awesome YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked him out yet, then definitely sub him up and watch his videos. He did a very brief YouTube short on this technique a while back. I was really inspired by it because I do similar things in my engineering, and I took the technique and added a few extra layers to it. Thanks, Streaky, for putting great content out there. I'm going to take this technique and evolve it and show you guys a few extra steps you can do to get it to sound extremely transparent. I really like techniques that are what I call have your cake and eat it too techniques. It's like you want a vocal that's really clear and present, but you also don't want to sacrifice the energy in your mid-range instrumentation. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do this. Let's take a look in the project at the different mid-range instrumentation that is causing the masking. Okay, so if we dial down into the project, into my submixing structure, which is extensive, by the way, I should point out that having these submixes in place, giving you layers of control in the mix, is really helpful with this technique. A lot of you probably won't be using submixes like this in your tracks, and this is quite time consuming and complicated to set up. So I'm happy to give this template to you. This is my own personal mix and production template that I've spent, years and years on. Been working on this template ever since I started producing, and it just keeps getting different and evolving and better over time. And I do a lot of work right now as a professional mix and mastering engineer, and this is the template that I use for bussing and routing things, and I find it very powerful. So I'm going to give this to you guys for free, so you're just equipped with this. There's a link in the description. You guys can go there and grab the template so you can use this on your end too. And I will do a future video, I think, on explaining how this template is routed and how it works and how I set it up. But for now, just follow along with me as I go through these key points. So the first thing that's causing the masking is all of these mid-range instruments. So if we play from the beginning and solo that. So there's all these mid-range synths that are pads and kind of super saw stuff that is definitely conflicting in the vocal range. But then we also have effects. So if we solo those up, there's a riser effect. We've got that. I'm capturing all of my returns to a submix, and those also can mask with the vocal. Those are things like reverbs and delays on all the other elements. And then finally, there is a top layer to the bass that comes in the build-up as well, and it's quite masky with the vocal. So having all those as individual buses is very handy. And then I have them all routed together conveniently into one submix called ducking. Okay, so all of those things are captured into this ducking submix. Okay, so that's all the stuff that's really sitting in the same range as the vocal. And I route it into this submix for ducking because I use an enveloping tool that's going to duck it to the drums. And that helps with drum clarity and loudness in the mix in general. But it's also handy to be able to group everything together here that gets in the way of the vocal. So here I have an all vocals bus, and you can hear what's going on in the vocals.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever, lifting me higher grounds.
So there's quite a few layers to the vocals. They start to have some harmonies come in. And yeah, there's the basic setup of the project. So what we want to do here is we want to take the ducking bus, the ducking submix, and we're going to grab a dynamic EQ. My go-to dynamic EQ for stuff like this is FabFilter Pro-Q3, and it's got workflow stuff that makes me love it for this. This is by no means the only tool that you can use to do this. There are other tools that I'll actually show you guys in future videos, so stay tuned for that. But for today, we're going to use Pro-Q3. And what we're going to do is route the lead vocal into the sidechain input of the EQ. Now, this is where it's really handy with my busing structure, because you can see all of my submixes are all caps, and they're easy to identify because they're at the very top of the project. So they show up first. And you can see I have lead vox right there. So I'm going to sidechain in lead vox into the plugin's input. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the analyzer, and we're going to make sure that we can see the collisions right here. And we're going to play, and we're going to watch for where the collisions are happening.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever.
So you can see those vertical red areas is where we're getting masking between the lead vocal and the instrumentation that's coming into this ducking bus. So the super sneaky trick is to use EQ match. So we're going to open up EQ match, and we're going to tell it, instead of listening to a reference, we're going to tell it to listen to the external sidechain, and then we're going to play the project.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever in this daydream. And I feel like this is quite alright, till you realize this is not paradise. Lifting me higher grounds. Lifting to better sounds. Lifting me higher grounds. Lifting to.
Okay, now that it's played enough of the vocal in that section that it's kind of stabilized, we click match. And then from here, we can go back to analyze, or we can change the granularity of the matching process. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and click finish here. And now it commits to the EQ nodes. So what you're seeing now is it's trying to take the mid-range instrumentation and match it to the vocal. But it's doing so in a way that's very extreme. So we're going to go from the scale on the view here from 12 to 30 dB so we can actually hear and see everything that's going on. And what we're going to do is we're going to multi-select the EQ nodes on the bottom, as well as this weird extraneous one on top. And we're going to delete them. Okay, so now we're left with these additive nodes. We're going to go ahead and multi-select those again. And we're going to take those to 0 dB. And what I want is for these nodes to be pulling down on the mid-range instrumentation every time the vocal comes in, but not when the vocal isn't in, because the vocal is intermittent here, right? So a lot of people would just go and use static EQ here, but the beauty part of Pro-Q3 is that you can click on the dynamic outer ring and you can go full dynamic. And what this is going to be doing now, unless you change something, is just responding to the dynamics of the mid-range ducking bus, okay? So we need to click this little auto button. This is a very important step. And we need to tell it to listen to the external sidechain here. So this is now going to take what's coming into the external sidechain, which is our lead vocal, and it's going to dynamically push down these bells that are the key masking points when the vocal is in and not when the vocal is not in. Okay, so and then we can go back from our 30 dB view down to 6 dB, and let's just watch this in action.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever in this daydream. And I feel like this is quite alright.
Okay, that's great. And then we can take this a few steps further, okay? So by default, all of these nodes are stereo. And where does the mid-range instrumentation sit? Well, it's sitting a lot in the sides, actually. And where does the vocal sit? The vocal sits primarily in the mid-range, or in the mid of the signal, the center of the signal, right? I'm not talking about mid-range in terms of frequency. I'm talking about mid in terms of stereo field, right? So the mid or the center or the sum of the signal is where the vocal is sitting. So this is where we get really sneaky. We're going to take this node and all of these nodes, and we're going to switch them from full stereo to just mid. So the vocal, which is prominent in the mid, is going to come in, and it's going to nudge down not the entire stereo field of those nodes. It's going to nudge down just the mid of the signal where the vocal needs to come through. And it's going to leave the sides of the signal untouched, which is where a lot of the definition and clarity and energy of these mid-range sounds is coming from. So this is how you get more transparent than using other techniques. Okay, so let's A/B this now.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever in this daydream. And I feel like this is quite alright.
Awesome. So from here, you can get into more granular, minute fussing. So I'm not going to go too far into this rabbit hole because you can get really detailed with this stuff. But some of the stuff I would experiment with, just to give you a few pointers, is I would experiment with adjusting the Q of these different points. Sometimes it's going to be advantageous to have the Q be quite narrow and surgical, and that's going to make it more transparent. And then other times it's going to be maybe more useful for you, depending on how masky stuff is, to have a bit of a wider Q on some of this stuff. So you can play with the Q here, and you can go bell by bell, node by node if you want to. But one of the other things that I like to do is I like to go down here and play with the gain scale. This plugin is great how it has a gain scale. It's kind of like a wet dry. It's not really a wet dry technically, but it's adjusting the amount of gain adjustment in the plugin. So you can go down here and you can see if you drop it to 0, you're not applying any effect at all. Then you can go up to 200% to overemphasize the effect. So you can use this while you're playing the vocal to find a sweet spot. Okay, let's just give that a try.
Let's get lost together, feels so surreal, as I want forever in this daydream. And I feel like this is quite alright, till you realize this is not paradise. Lifting, lifting, lifting me higher grounds. Lifting, lifting, lifting to better sounds. Lifting, lifting, lifting me higher grounds. Lifting, lifting, lifting to better sounds.
So there you have it, folks. That is the technique. I hope you got a lot of value out of that one. I want to give a little shout out to Sam Winter. He is the producer on our team that created this project. Thanks, Sam, for creating something that is so well mixed already and was a pleasure to be able to use in our example today. Check out Sam's stuff on SoundCloud. He's an ace producer. Does really good stuff. Couple last things to wrap up. Make sure you take advantage of this offer to get our vocal production course for free. Normally it's a $49 course, and I've made it free for a limited time so that anybody who's struggling with this stuff to be able to get a well-produced, well-mixed vocal, or if you just want to level up your game in that area, this will get you there. And inside that course, you'll learn everything from vocal production strategy, the plugins and tools that I use to be able to engineer and mix vocals, how I do timing and tuning of vocals, and end-to-end vocal production. It'll equip you to be able to get better at this stuff. Also, the template that I'm using here, my Lightspeed template, is something that I've spent years and years on. And unless you're using something similar to it that has all of these submixes in place and the busing and routing structures, this technique is a little harder to apply. So I'm giving the template to you for free. The link is below in the video description. Grab that and use it in your own projects. If you don't use Pro-Q3, Don't worry, because in our next videos, I'm going to be showing you how to use other tools to be able to implement this same technique, and I'll even be including a plugin that is totally free. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.